All right. Just gonna give it a little bit. See if we can get this camera on this laptop working. Got a bunch of stuff put together, so um, let's just make sure that the sound is working. Can you guys hear me? See me? The camera, I mean, I'm gonna end up sharing my screen because I want you guys to see some stuff today, so hopefully it doesn't lag us out. Let's just give it like 3 or 4 minutes, let everybody get in here. It always seems like that you guys are in such a lag. I watched the replay though, and everything seemed to come out pretty clear, so. All right, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Let me lose this camera for a second. We'll give them 1 more minute, see who else shows up. It is going to be recorded, and it's better to be on the live webinar. This way you can hear, you can see, you can ask questions, and then I don't have to do things twice. But I am going to record it for the people that couldn't, because I know that there's a few people that are in the UK that it's like 2, 3 in the morning for them. I'm going to give them to 1 more minute, because I did have a few people message me, say they were going to be 5 minutes late. Seems like there is 8 of us in here. We do have 15 now. I moved us up. We went up to 15 people. So you guys are going to be the only ones that get in at this point. And I'm going to break things down for you. I'm going to show you what's going on. But let me hold up just 1 more second here. Just type a little Y in the box if you can see my screen. You guys good? Can you see this? Can you see my screen? All right, cool. Okay, so let's get started. This is recorded. This is part two, the webinar series of list building, custom autoresponder. Replay link. You may be here if you're not on live. Any point, you guys can type in questions. I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to come check it out and answer those questions. But tonight, here's a few of the things that tonight's topics. One is going to be understand what you have, really kind of what you've purchased, what a custom autoresponder really is, just a little bit more finer details on it. The strategy to show you guys how to get to 25,000 subscribers in 60 days. Having a list is a money-making machine. I want all 15 of us to be able to get to this 25,000 and then make money. It 100% can be done. I've helped actually a lot of the people that are on here. I've actually helped I've helped a good portion of people. Just selling traffic because I'm going to use Pete Hooley as an example. Hopefully you don't mind Pete, but Pete, I've known him for a while. He's from the United Kingdom, and he's struggled making money on the internet for quite a while. He's done a lot of different businesses and different things online. So one day we were talking and I was like, why don't you just sell some traffic, Pete? So I kind of took him through the process, and I actually gave him a little bit of a list real quick. I walked him through it. It was within, I would probably say a half an hour. He had multiple people asking to buy solo ads from him. He sold traffic, and he had made money. Really having a list is going to give you that freedom to make money whenever you want. So that's the goal. We're going to go over the strategy for selling traffic or products or business opportunities, because I know that some people want to do that. And we're going to go over the warm-up phase. That's really the main purpose of tonight, is I want you guys to understand what the warm-up phase is and really how to do it and get your questions answered. And then we'll go over some of the potential future costs, because that's kind of been some of the questions I've been getting. Hopefully all that makes sense, and I'm going to get into it. So first, let's start off and talk a little bit about the custom autoresponder. So what we've done here is you're getting a VPS server. It's on a 2-core, and we're getting 4 IP addresses that are set up to rotate. We're building a reputation with the domain and the IP address. I'm setting all this stuff up for you guys, so you don't really need to know this type of stuff, but I think it's it's kind of cool just to understand what you have, that just in case somebody asks you down the road. It's just good to know kind of what's in your back pocket here. We're hooking up and we're setting up Interspire. Now, Interspire is one of the best email scripts out there. And then between me and I have a guy working with me doing a lot of the back end stuff. We're setting up SPF records, DKIM, sender IDs, closed proxy, MX records. This is all different type of things that are going to help when we send out emails, that they land in the inbox. If you don't do this stuff, a lot of times the servers will block the emails, or you won't hit the inbox, or you'll consistently go into the spam folder and you'll never get out of there. So if we do the combination of everything that you learn here, plus allowing me to do this type of stuff on the back end, you're going to have a really good custom autoresponder. So just to show you Interspire, so I don't know, hopefully you guys can see this. Interspire, here's a screenshot I took of their products. For 20 users, it would cost $1,795 to put 20 users in place for the email script. So this is it is an expensive script, and it's part of, it's almost just consider it as like a bonus. You're getting it free. We're hooking this whole thing up. So when I think there's about 11 of you right now that can actually log in and do some stuff. The last few people there, I'm setting it up. Just the company today that I'm working with, I don't know if they were just closed or what was going on, but I couldn't get a hold of their support. Now, there's tons of features inside of Interspire, and I do want you guys to get familiar with it. I mean, right now, all you have to do is log in, import, and mail. But there's some cool stuff in there. So you should check out things. Don't change any of the settings, because I have them set a certain way for us. But the main things that we should focus on is this, that there is, moving the whole thing here. The main things that we should focus on is this: that there's no list size limits or fees for that. A lot of places like SendGrid or I actually think it's like Mailgun, or any of the major order responders, GetResponse, AWeber. The bigger your list gets, the more monthly you pay. I think it was once you hit 20,000 subscribers in AWeber, you're paying something like $175. Once you get up to like 50,000, 60,000, I mean, you're paying crazy money. Interspire, we're not gonna have to worry about that. SendGrid, which charges you a percent how much you mail. I use Amazon SES a lot too, and I love using them, but they're expensive. I mean, if I blast out 10,000, 20,000 people, I'm paying between $200 to $400 just to email. And so Interspire, we have no list size, no limit fees. You're not going to worry about any of that. Where is the other main feature here that I wanted to show you guys? Obviously, easy import and export. That's going to be the biggest thing for us. I've already set up the throttling to kind of slow things down and basically keep our reputation building nicely with the ISP servers. Let me just check. Oof. Hold on one second. All right, hopefully you guys can see it. I just came back, and obviously now nobody could see my screen before. Just let me know if you can see the screen. I mean, really, we're not looking at too much other than the slides here, but I was just showing you guys, the screenshot of how much Interspire costs, letting you guys see some of the features here. Took a screenshot, but then you can always go to interspire.com and check out the email and pretty much all the stuff that that you guys got in there. Can you guys see now? Cool. All right, so the main focus here, right, is this going to help us make money? 100% it's going to help us make money. There's going to be no more chasing friends, no more chasing family. It's attraction marketing. When you're out there trying to get signups and sales, it's just not the way to do it. You need to have a list. You got to play the numbers. You're not going to have a problem people buying your products and services. And most importantly for me is that I know that when you have a list, if you guys need to pick up a quick 100 or a quick 250, you can do it. You'll be able to generate an income on that day if you really need to do it. I feel like the all right, so what do we have to do? Obviously, we're typing up an email and sending it. I don't really need to go into that. I just wrote it out, so it's on the PowerPoint for you to see. But all right, so let's get into the warm-up phase. This is the most important part of tonight here, is that I want you to understand what you need to do next. If you can log into Interspire, into your server, you have a few things to do. Now, I sent this page out to everybody. You should have it. You should have taken a look. I've added a little bit more to it because I had a few people asking questions. So let's do that now. This is the page, and it's actually pretty simple to understand. But feel free. I mean, if you got questions, just let me know, because this is a part that I can't do this for you. You have to do this to ensure that when we send mail, it gets to the inbox. That's the most important thing. If you have a list of 50,000 people and you send out and nobody can see the email, well, there's no point of having the list. So the only way that this works is that we do certain things. Now, I'm doing a huge portion on the back end. I'm doing a lot of the big techie side that most people have no idea about. I've got that covered for us. This part, you guys need to stay consistent. You have to, So the first, what I want you guys to do is look at two things here. One, if you have 25,000 leads already, if you have 25,000 subscribers, well, then follow this guideline right here. What I want you to do is break up your CSV file into 7 CSV files. So for somebody who's not familiar with a CSV file, it's inside of Excel, or you can even download OpenOffice. It's free. You can get that too. Oh man, my leg just fell asleep. But I want you to create 7 CSV files. So your first CSV file would have 1,000 leads in it, right? And we would have 200 of each ISP. So we'd have 200 leads that were from Hotmail and Live. We'd have 200 from Yahoo, 200 from Gmail, 200 from MSN and AOL, and 200 from everything else, Roadrunner and Rediff and whatever. There's all these other different email addresses, but a total of 1,000. You're just going to follow that. CSV2, you're going to do 2,000 leads, 400 of each. CSV3, 4,000, and so on, and follow it. And then if you do have 25,000 subscribers, just set it up like this. One second. All right, so if you have 25,000 subscribers, you're just going to follow this right here. So you would simply, on day one, you're just going to email CSV1 because it would be 1,000. You're sending out to 1,000 of your contacts. Day two, I actually wrote it out. Let me see if it's down here. So day 1 through 6, you're following the chart, right? So you're gonna mail CSV2. Day 3, you're gonna mail CSV3. Day 4, obviously, we're not gonna send. Day 5, we're gonna send to CSV4. 1,200. 1,200. Right? And then we take a break. Day 7. Now we need to send to 8,000 of our contacts. So how do we do that? Well, we do that. Here's an example of how we could do that. Here's day 7. We would use CSV number 4 and CSV number 2. So what would that be? CS number 4 and number 2. That's 400 plus 12. That's 16, right? This says that we need to mail 16. So before I go on, let me just make sure that you guys are following. Does this make sense? I know you guys are on a little bit of a lag, so all right, I'm going to go on, but if you have questions on this, just type. So that's all we're going to be doing if we have 25,000 subscribers. Now, I know some people on here don't have 25,000 subscribers. Now, you may have, 5,000, or maybe you have 10,000, or maybe maybe you only have 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers. So I did make another version here. Mailing strategy if less than 25,000 subscribers. Now, the rule of thumb really is if you're below 10,000 and when you're mailing, you really don't need a big warm-up phase, but I want you to do it anyways because it's important to build a reputation and it's going to help. So we're going to follow this breakdown. If you have less than 25,000 subscribers, you can follow this breakdown, which is right here. CSV1. So I'm going to have 200 leads, 40 of each ISP. 300 leads, 60 of each ISP, and so on. And you just follow it. So really, we're going to have 8 CSV files broken down this way, and then our ninth one will have all 3,000. Well, you just you just make one big CSV file. Mark, if you have a list of 25,000 leads, then yes. If you already have it, because I know some people are already well beyond 25,000 subscribers, it's easier to warm up the IP and the domain if you have 25K. So if you do, I recommend following the 25K. Joseph, the reason, I mean, there's everybody has a different situation. There are some guys in here that that are getting this autoresponder simply because they're sick of GetResponse and SendGrid and all these different restrictions and people getting shut down and all this other nonsense. There's tons of guys actually on here that have 50,000 leads or 100,000 leads already. So um, that's why we need to break down for both. Yeah, I'm gonna give some options of how to get some more leads, and I'll go into that towards the end. So if you don't have 25,000 subscribers, follow this right here. Day one, we would use CSV1, right? So we would be using CSV1. It's got 200 leads. Day two, we're going to be using CSV1 and CSV2, which is going to equal, we're going to be sending out to 500 leads. Day three would be CSV3, CSV4, you're going to be sending out to 1,000 people. Day four, you take a break. Day five, you send out 1, 3, and 4, right? So we come here, CSV1, 3, and 4, right? So that's 1,000, 200, 400 plus 600 plus 200, 1,002, 1,002, right? We're gonna take a break. Day seven, we send out to 2, 6, 7, and 8. That's gonna be a total of 1,600 we're sending to, right? 2. I forgot what number it was. Go back down here. 2, 6, 7, 8. Number 2, 6, 7, 8, right? 2 is 300. 600. That's 1,000. 1,600, right? 1,600. For anybody that's under 25,000 subscribers, you're going to be following this, and it's only going to be a 14-day warm-up phase. At the end, I want you to send to CSV9, which is our combined all 3,000, right? So I want you to 3 days in a row mail to those 3,000, and that should warm us up to be able to mail to 3 to 10,000 consistently, and the inboxing should increase. Now, if you're somebody in here that has 10 to 15,000, you don't have 25,000, you can still pretty much follow the top guideline and do the big warm-up phase. I recommend that you try to do this, because this is the secret ingredient that most people don't realize. They don't understand why their autoresponder doesn't work, or this is really a big key here to mailing, is knowing things like this. And if you have, if you do have 15,000 leads, you can break up your CSV file. It doesn't have to be exact. There is no exact science to this. This is how I broke it down for 25,000 leads, which makes sense with the numbers. But it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be exact. If it's close enough, it'll still work. Let me just take a second here. Yep, Christina, we're going to be able to get to 25,000 leads. I'm going to I have a few sources where we can buy leads from right now. So that is going to be one option to do. I'm going to go over a strategy of how to basically, if you don't have the leads, there's only a few methods of really being able to get leads quickly, and that's either buying lists or, some people scrape. I actually don't scrape. Um, I know some people they have good softwares and scraper tools. I've never had success with it, and you have to be really careful with scraping because then you're kind of breaking some rules and really there's a lot more spam traps and honey pots. So really, uh, I'll get into basically what we'll do is we'll purchase some leads and then we are going to swap. And let me get to that in a minute. Let me see if there's any other questions. Okay, so Mark, you don't know how to break down the big CSV into smaller ones. What I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna do it on this one because I want to go over some of this stuff and answer these type of questions, but I want to have another webinar on Thursday, and I'm actually going to log into the server. I'm going to import, I'm going to break down the CSV file and kind of show you, hands-on some of this type of stuff, show you, so for the people that don't know how to do some of this stuff. Um, but really breaking down a CSV file is just kind of going into Excel and just, you just have to, you just chop it up. Guess I'll have to show you how to do it. um, Yeah, Mike, I'm going to show some different techniques on what to mail. Now, the thing with mailing is this, is that there's a few things to understand. One, there is no exact way to mail. Yes, there's technique and there's strategy and there's different things to do, and I'm going to show you that, but being yourself is usually the best thing you can do. Having, pictures of yourself or, talking about your own story or your own life, that type of thing, people connect with it. So I will show you some things and give you some recommendations, especially during the warm-up phase of what to mail. As long as you're not crazy spammy, that's the best thing to do during the warm-up phase. No like, hey, free, buy now, and all this crap. You really want to just basically you just want to let people know who you are, give them some information, give them some value. If you got anything free to give away, keep things short and sweet. It doesn't have to be this marketing email. It can be just short, sweet. Just usually put a link in there. This way you can get opens and clicks. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go over some technique with mailing. That's right. So every day, Joe, if we're watching, get back there. So every day we're mailing to each ISP because if we do this the right way, right, um, our CSV files contain uh, a number of each ISP, right? All 5 of these. So every day other than a don't send day, which is a break day, because we don't want to overmail people. You don't want to hit them. And that's also the reason that you can see here when I break down the strategy, I say use number 4, use number 3 and 4, use 6 and 7, because I'm trying to give 3 and 4 a break. You don't want to mail them too much. Like here, we used 3 and 4 on day 8. We didn't use them on 9. We used 3 here on day 12, but we're still giving 4 a break. The next time we're mailing CSV 4 is all the way here on day 13. So we've given them a good break. So, just be smart. Just write it out. After you break down your CSV files, just follow my guideline and map it out. Before you start sending, just maybe write it down yourself and be like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. Just follow the guideline and really the goal is just, you don't want to hammer them too much. Really, what we want to do is just mail these people and try not to get spam complaints. That's the biggest thing here. Think right now, Eric, I think we're set on 1,000 hourly. I actually have to go back and check the throttle because pretty sure we're at 1,000 though. Joe, I mean, really, then I would recommend buying more leads or just you know I would have to say buy more leads, because this is the right way to do it. There's no, if I had a shortcut or an easy way, for us to get around this, I would give it to you. But um, if your list is all Gmail, well, then that means you're not sending to Hotmail or Yahoo or MSN. And down the road, if you have, if down the road all of a sudden you buy a list and you got 5,000, Yahoo, and you send to them, well, Yahoo has never accepted mail from you. So they're gonna say, well, who's this guy? Where's this domain? What's the IP? And most likely the emails will not get to them. So, um, really, the warm up phase is important because we start off slow. You can see here, right? We're only mailing 1,000 contacts, and then by day 25, we're up to mailing 25,000 people on the day. So, um, it's important to warm up each ISP. Yeah, Eric, don't worry about the throttling. I'm going to take care of the techie end for us. Right now, I set it to 1,000, but I'll make sure that the throttle and everything matches up properly. All right, so let's just get back to it one more time right here. So does this make sense? Is everybody comfortable? Um, is anybody, I would like to ask these type of questions. Anybody not comfortable with CSV files? I mean, I don't really have an option for you other than, next webinar, I'll go into a CSV file and chop it up and break it down so you can kind of see how to do it if you don't know. But so the goal here is this is what you need to do is you need to take your list, if you have one, chop it up, right? And you make your list into 7 smaller lists. Go into your server, and you just click where it says import, and then you import them one by one. And this way, on day one, you're just going to click that they're going to send the mail to that CSV, and then file the guideline. Hopefully, all of this makes sense. If it doesn't, ask questions. Okay, cool. All right, so how are we going to get to 25,000 subscribers in 60 days? Well, one is if we have leads, it's really simple. I mean, there aren't many shortcuts in this, but one thing that most people don't understand is that we can trade and swap, and that's really the fastest way to grow. That's how I hit over 300,000 leads in a single year, because I traded and I swapped after I hit a certain level, and it took me a while to realize that. I actually was over 100,000, and then I realized I could do that. But so here's an example, right? I recommend getting to about 5,000 leads. Once you hit 5,000 leads, you can make a trade. Now you could do this earlier, but the thing is this: I don't want you to trade and swap too much, because if you trade and swap too much, well, then the potential of your leads getting traded and swapped all over the place, you really could hurt the effectiveness of them. So, for example, if you make one trade, if you had 13, what is it, 12,000, if you had 12,500, right, and you made one trade, so you had 12,000, you had a list of 12,500 subscribers. You come to me and say, "Hey, Chris, look, I got 12,500 subscribers. The open rates are pretty good, the click rates are pretty good. You want to do a trade for 12,005. I give you a list of my 12,005, you give me a list of your 12,005. All of a sudden, now you're up to 25,000 subscribers in one shot. Boom. Now you've only traded with one guy. Now, if you trade with somebody like me, like I, you know, I don't really trade and swap that much. And if I do, I know who I'm doing it with, and I know that they don't do that often. So the less swaps and trades you have to do, the better, because your list is more protected. But, if you get the 5,000 leads and you want to quickly jump up to 10, you make a trade. You take 5,000 subs, you trade with another guy. Now you get up to 10, take your 10, trade with one other guy. Now you're up to 20. And then at that point, you can decide if you want to do a third swap. Personally, I recommend that you just, you pony up, the 100 or 150 bucks, grab another list. Um, because when you buy leads, normally you spend a little money and you make the money 10 times over. I would rather invest in leads than, trade, swap, and beat them to hell. So hopefully that makes sense. Um, that is the fastest way to get up to 25,000 subscribers inside of an autoresponder. Yeah, Eric. I mean, I'm gonna have some sources to purchase leads. If somebody needs leads, you can message me on Facebook. Let me know that you need leads. I'm gonna try to work out a couple deals with two of the sources that I buy leads from. This way, we can get them at cost, and you can get them for less expensive. So for the people on here that want to sell traffic, now, if you have been online, MLM, business opportunities, and you've never really had success, you've made a little money, but not that much, or maybe you have never made money and you've just, you always lose, you invest in a company and you never make your money back. MLM and business opportunities might not be for you. They're not for everybody. It's a very hard business to actually be successful in. There's a lot to it. And, a lot of the gurus and all this stuff, they make it seem easy, but it's not. You just, so I actually recommend that, you might want to look at selling traffic. Stop trying to be the king of, your business opportunity. Take a step back and remember that this is a business. You're just trying to make, you're really trying to make money and provide a valuable service to people. Now, the thing is this is why is selling traffic easier than selling a product or a business opportunity? Because everybody needs it. It doesn't matter if you're selling juice or an exercise program or, or information or a software. No matter what your company or business is, everybody needs leads. They need traffic. So when you put up a post or, you put something on LinkedIn or Twitter or Skype or whatever it may be, and you say, hey, look, I got 2 solos I'm going to sell this month, message me. I got between 1,000 and 2,000 clicks ready to go. Well, somebody's going to message you. They're going to ask you some questions, and then right there on the spot, they're going to send you. It could be 50 bucks, it could be $500, and you're going to make money right there. They're going to pay you, and then the only thing that you'll have to do is you literally will just sit your butt down in a chair. You're going to type up an email. Sometimes you don't even have to type up the email; they'll give it to you, right? So they give you their email, they give you the link that they want you to promote, and you're just going to go to your list. You're going to press the send button. And if you have a 25,000 person list, well, you should be getting a good amount of clicks, right? You should be getting, 250, 300 clicks off of one email. So you send out the email, right? And then nighttime comes, you do the same thing. You type up an email, you send it out. Bam. It doesn't get much easier than selling traffic, typing up emails and selling. Like most people are climbing poles or, digging ditches or out, they're working hard, and um, all you have to do is stay consistent and just say, hey, look, this is a business. Someone's going to pay me. I'm going to take it seriously. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to take their email. I'm going to send it out to my list. I'm going to make sure they get their clicks and, treat the customer the way that they should be treated. But also don't take no crap. A lot of these people, they try to get deals and all this stuff, and that's okay. You can offer deals, but just just stay focused when you're selling traffic. And I'm going to go into more techniques and things with selling traffic as we get going and people start getting these lists bigger. But let me so here's a conservative approach for selling traffic. 50 cents a click is pretty much like the norm. Sometimes people will lowball and sell like 35, 40 cents a click. I only say do that maybe in the beginning if you've never sold traffic, just to a few people to get some testimonials. And after you get some testimonials from people, you can say, hey, look, I'll give it to you for, 40 or 40 cents a click. But, if the traffic's good, if you had, good opt-in rate, maybe some sales or whatever it may be, leave me a testimonial. In the beginning, that's not a bad idea. I usually do an approach like this where it's like 50 cents a click in the beginning. If they want to, if they're going to be somebody who pays, right up front, right? They're going to pay me $420 on the day. Well, then I'm going to give them a deal and I'll drop it, 8 cents a click. But you don't have to do that. You can stay strong at 50 cents. You can charge 50 cents. I mean, it's your traffic. You're the one that has to, you're gonna have to mail your traffic. Those leads are valuable, and you can stay strong at 50 cents. Or you can raise it. I know a lot of people. I mean, myself. That some of my premium lists. I would never sell it for 50 cents a click. It'd be like $1 or $2 at least, because I have a lot of buyers on some of my lists, and if I send out to them, they're going to get sales, which could be thousands to that person. So I'm going to charge the appropriate price. Make sense? All right, so I know a lot of you on here that, you don't want to sell traffic. You do want to be the MLM king. You want to, start getting more sales and signups in your biz up, and that's great. Like here's the selling traffic is easier, but selling a business opportunity or a product usually will make you more money in the long run. And the reason is because, for most companies or products, you start off, you jump in at 30, 40 bucks, right? By the time you're done through the funnel, they have a $3,000 product or a 2,000, and people make big commissions from it, right? If we looked at Empower Network, you start off at 25 bucks. By the time you're done, they have $3,000 product. The person that signed you up can make like 4,000 $4,000 or $5,000, something crazy, right? So if you want to sell products or business opportunities, here is what I do. One, again, consistency is key. Please do not come to me down the road telling me, Chris, I'm mailing, the leads aren't responding, or Chris, I sent mail and it's not working. And then I come to find out that you're not being consistent. I've had so many people tell me, oh, my list don't work, email marketing don't work. And then I get in there for 3 or 4 days straight, mailing them once or twice a day, and all of a sudden the guy has 4 or 5 signups. Consistency. Don't feel like you're bugging people. They're on your list. If they don't want to be there, then they can go. They can unsubscribe. That's the beauty of it. Honestly, I tell people to get off my list all the time. I say, hey, look, if you don't want to be here, get off, because I don't want you on my list if you're never going to open, read, or join anything. I'm paying for you to be on the list, actually, in most cases. So, so here's normally what I'll do is I'll create like a 14 to an 18-day follow-up series. Now, this does take time and effort. You have to write out these emails prior. or you can pay somebody to do it for you if you know somebody that's pretty good at email marketing. But I will create 14 to 18 emails. Um, my first 4 to 5 emails are very congruent with each other. They're congruent and they offer value. Um, you know, so for the last one, I've been working with my partner, Jarrell Cox, and he sells a Forex course, right? So I just kept his emails very congruent with what he was doing. Hey, it's day one. Here's the day one video. Hey, it's day two. Here's the day two video. Here's day three, and I just, make it a little bit engaging and I make it more exciting as I'm going down. But the first 4 to 5 emails are really just about, hey, here's the information. It's free. Here's the link. Short, sweet, right to the point. People, there's no way people could be mad because it's free information. It's good video. And then the fifth video is more of like more of like I put in like an assessment form type of deal. After that, I will start to do a 4 to 5 different techniques type of email. Now these are things like being harsh. Like you can tell people, hey, look, man, I'm serious now. Are you serious or what are you doing? Because if you're not going to be serious, if this isn't for you, I get it. Hang out. But if this is for you, but you're just kind of on the fence all the time, well then maybe it's better if you just get off the list. You know, be harsh with them. Say, hey, look, man, I'm. Do you really want to change your financial situation? Because you got to get in. You can be rude every once in a while. That's just a technique. Or you can go with the being their buddy technique. Hey, you can be partners with them, buddies. You can make it entertaining type of thing. Um, Usually, we'll send out one that paints the future, an email that talks about. Could you imagine? Can you imagine pulling in 2,000 on the day? Is that realistic? Most people are so stuck in the fact that they're only going to make 3,000 at the end of the month or 5,000 at the end of the month. Could you imagine doing that in a single day? It's possible, right? Or kill them with proof, right? Hey, look it, you don't believe in 5,000 a day. Well, the cool thing is I just made 12,000, and here's the proof. Here's the picture, right? Show the proof. People can't, unless you're like real skeptical, I guess, but usually proof will help convince them. And if you're consistent, you do all of these different techniques. One of them resonates with a potential buyer more than another one is, and that's what's going to get them in. Mike, I'm not really sure what you mean. Can we use the same follow-ups? So after I've done about 10 emails, then I will go to a different style. I'll go to about a 4 to 5 day story. And they'll be, they can be short and sweet, or they could be a little bit more lengthy, but I won't include links in them. So the first email will be more of a story. It might be like, my headline might even just be like, hey, Chris, right? And then it's like, hey, I want to tell you about when I first started marketing, and I could go a little bit into, my struggle and what happened. And I'm like, hey, look, I want to tell you that about me bottoming out, or, whatever it may be. But the point is that you create a story. And the biggest thing is this, is that the intro has to be very interesting, and the close has to be a big hook. You have to hook them to the next email, and there's no link and there's no selling in it. This way that they read it and they're like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then when they get the next one, they open it. That's going to help you increase the open rate, because if you do this good and you make that big hook, well, it's, to them it's entertaining. Selling things, a lot of times when you sell stuff, it's all entertainment. um, some of the biggest marketers, some of the funnest marketers for me to even watch, are people like Michelangelo Lopez or Max or Mac. Like they market more entertainment, I guess say, on Facebook than anything. I'm not a big entertainment guy on Facebook, but through email a lot of times I am, and through my sequences. But it's entertainment, right? So if you can create this 4 to 5 day sequence that tells a story and a big hook at the end that gets them to open the next email, raises your open rates, builds a relationship, and then on the fifth one, you slide in, the link to get them back to the sales page. And then after I do that, then I finish up with what's called the Seinfeld sequence. And that's just random type of emails, random broadcasts, talk about your day. Hey, I just enjoyed, the Easter weekend. I was with the kids, show, picture of your family and the kids, happened to pull in, a $600 sale. Here's a screenshot proof. I really excited to help some people learn how to do this, send me a message back. That type of thing. It's more about your daily activity and so you squeeze those in, and then like I said, it's okay if people unsubscribe. Get them off your list if they're not going to do anything. Make sense? um yeah, I mean, I guess you could. Are you talking about like other companies that have already made swipe files and funnels for you? My only concern with that, especially during the warm up phase, is that the problem with getting lazy and not doing it ourselves and creating the email and taking swipe files is that you're not the only one that does that. If you're going to do that and a company has 20,000 people and 10,000 people take the swipes and the pre-made funnels, well, those leads most likely are on other people's lists, and they're going to see it. They've already seen it. um I don't think we need a copywriting course. The best thing to do really is to just do it. I'm telling you, the more you do it, the better you're going to get. And I'm telling you, in the beginning, it might be a little bit hard, and you might be like, "Man, what do I write? How do I do this?" And when you get to that point, just make it short and sweet, like you're typing a Facebook message to me. Hey, just wanted to shoot you a quick message, see how things were going. Short and sweet. It doesn't have to be anything special. How many emails do you get a day that you open them and throw them in the trash and you're not mad at the person, or you don't really even care who or how many do you just not open in general? It's just the point of staying consistent and mailing. So um, I personally wouldn't use these pre-made funnels or these big swipe files. I would stick to really trying to do this yourself, or if you really don't want to do it, I would get somebody to write some up for you. Um, but personally, I think that if you're here, it's really about trying to start making an income. Do you how badly do you want how badly do you really want to make 5,000 to 12,000 a month sending emails? That's what it comes down to. Now, if you're somebody on here that's making 500,000, well, maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe it's a waste of time for you. But I know a lot of people on here are either making no money at all, or you're making maybe you are making 3 to 10,000 in your online business, but being able to make money to send email, come on. I mean, it's so worth it. So just tell yourself that, hey, look, I'm just going to practice this and get better at writing an email and staying consistent. And with the warm-up phase, you can't not be consistent. So don't start unless you are ready to go. Because the first day that you send that 1,000, well, then day two you need to send the next. Or if you're doing the lower version, but you have to send. You have to send on day one. You have to send on day two. You have to send on day three. Take a break. You can't do day one. Oh, I had a doctor's appointment and I missed 3 days, but I'm gonna send today. It doesn't work that way. You can't do that. Yeah, if you miss one day, sure, okay, it's gonna be. It probably won't matter. But I wrote this out this way because this is how you do it. So be set your CSV files up, get them imported, and then once you start mailing, stick to the script. 25 days consistency is what I need out of you guys. If you want this to work, you got to do it, and that's it. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. You can't not do it. You can't get lazy 10 days in and stop sending. You have to stick to it, because down the road you're going to try to tell me, well, it's not working, and I'm going to have 10 other guys that it is working for, and you're going to be in a worse off situation. So hopefully that makes sense. And that's kind of just like a way that you can either sell traffic or you can sell products. All right, so right now there's 15 of us, and I would call this a soft launch. So I will be building a website and a members area, an affiliate program and all of that, all of that stuff. Right now, there's only 15 of us in there, and it was a one-time fee of 250 if you got in. For a portion of people, for pretty much everybody on here, I'm pretty sure I offered, the $99. You can pick up 1,500 leads, which is kind of like my little, I guess, thank you for getting in early, and kind of like a starter pack for the people that don't know how to get leads. This will get your list going. It's a cheap price to pay $100 to get that many leads. And for the first 36 people to run the server, the capacity, I want us to get to 100,000 leads. It's going to be $50 monthly to run the server. So, you will never find a server that can hold up to 100,000 and pay $50 monthly. For the next 25 people. So when I actually open the doors again, I'm going to take another 16 people to get in. Once the first 36 are in, the price is going to go to $299 yearly and $77 a month. So you guys, obviously, you're already in. You paid the one-time price. The monthly will kick in, next month as we get going, which should take one email to make probably that over 10 times. The next 25 people will pay $299 yearly, pay $77 monthly. After that, it'll be $299 yearly, $100 monthly. And then from that point on, after we had 61 people in the team or in the group, as you may say, I'm going to decide if we should, raise the price on the monthly because of, pretty much what everybody is getting here. So those are the prices and the costs. I want you guys to see this because, down the road, if you do decide to be affiliates, you know what's coming. You'll be able to use some urgency. You can see that the price is going to jump up and this is the plan and the structure. Other future costs that you guys may run into, like we said, buying some lists. But if we do the swap and the trade strategy, you won't need to spend too much on leads. You'll have to spend a little bit if you're a guy on here that has no leads. Yes, I mean, I wish I had a magic, like a magic secret that could get you up to 25,000 leads without spending any money, but there really isn't anything like that. Yeah, we can get you up to about 5,000 and make a couple trades and swaps and get you to 25 pretty quickly, which is going to save a lot of money, and most people wouldn't know how to do that. I do recommend spending money on a cleaning package. And, if you do, I'm going to look around to see if I can find a good scraper. I haven't seen anything that is really that good. I used to use a couple, but you pull so much crap when you scrape. You pull spam traps and honeypots. So scraping is really like kind of a dangerous game. List cleaning before you send is a must, especially during the warm-up phase. So what is list cleaning? It's taking your CSV file, you put it to a server. Let me see if this actually opens up. You will load up your list. So here's their pricing over here. It's pretty cheap, actually. So for 10,000 email addresses, it costs you $54. For 50,000, which is pretty much what probably most people are going to need max, or for a very long period, probably costs 100. Obviously you can start off, with the 10,000 if you needed to. Is it required? No. Do I highly recommend it? Absolutely, I do, because what it's going to do is it's going to let you load up. You're going to load up your list, and they're going to find all the hard bounces. They're going to find the soft bounces. They're going to find all the invalid emails. They're going to find the spam traps and the honeypots, and they're going to take that out of the list. So this way, you don't mail it on your new VPS server, and your new IP address, and you're trying to build this reputation. You don't wreck it by mailing crap leads. people, if you mail this type of stuff and it hits, you're going to mess up the reputation. So I think it's way better to, spend the $54, clean 10,000 leads, make sure that you have a good, hard, clean list, and then do the warm up phase. Um, so hopefully that makes sense. No, Michelangelo, you wouldn't want to have a follow up um, and broadcast to them. Well, I mean, I guess you could. I mean, I do. Yeah, I mean, I do. I set up my 14 to 17-day series, and then I broadcast as well. But that's strictly if you're promoting a product or a business opportunity. For the mailing phase, for the warm up phase, you're not going to create a follow up. What you're going to do is you're going to broadcast. Right? You're going to go in there, either and send out your email. If you're really trying to get signups into your business opportunity, then yeah, spend the time, create your follow-up series, and then you can broadcast also on the day. So I guess the two of the biggest questions would be, if you don't have 25,000 leads, then just contact me, message me on Facebook. We are going to have another webinar on Thursday, same time, 10 p.m. Eastern. And for next webinar, I'm going to, log in. I'm going to show you how to import. I'm going to show you I'm going to try to do some CSV stuff. Hopefully, I can do a little bit of breaking down on the CSV file. Maybe I'll go into some emails and actually let you see a couple examples of what I talked about. I'll show you how to monitor your bounce and your spams. Because the most important thing too is when you're mailing during this warm-up phase, let's say you're on day 3 and you mail and you get a percentage of bounces come back. Well, you need to know how to go in there and delete those leads, because you don't want to mail to them again. You want to get rid of them. Same thing with spam complaints. I'm going to recommend a strategy where we create a basically it's like a fake spam complaint page. So somebody clicks the link to unsubscribe and they decide to be a douche and click the spam button. Well, this way it just gives us a notification, so they think they're actually putting in a spam complaint, but really what it's doing is it's just a page we built, and we can go in there, manually search that lead out and unsubscribe them or delete them from the list. This way it doesn't count towards our reputation. So that's going to be something that I'll show you. The only thing on the techie end, which I'm kind of working out with one of the guys I'm working with, the only thing that we're really missing is signing up for different feedback loops. So I'm going to be working on that. You don't have to worry about it, but I'll end up updating us once I know a little bit more. Yeah, exactly. During the warm-up phase is all broadcasting. You're going to type up your email. You're going to pick the CSV files that you want to mail to, and then you're going to press send. That's it. So that is really all I have for you guys today. Hopefully you did learn a lot. You see, you have a better concept of the warm-up phase. You kind of know some different things about, how we're going to jump to 25,000 subscribers if you're not there. Different things about selling traffic and products. Some more about the potential costs. If you need leads, message me. I don't have it all in place just yet, but I'm working on it. Hopefully I can get it all in place by Friday. If you're one of the people that can't log in just yet, tomorrow it all should be in place for, I think it's 11, 12, 13, and 14, and 15. You should all be able to log in and see the server. Everybody else should be able to log in. I sent you guys the links. If you need a link for the list cleaning service, let me know. And that's really it. That's today's webinar. And I'll stick around for a good 5-10 minutes, see if anybody has any questions on anything, and then we'll go from there. Nobody has any questions? We're all good? All right, cool. I'm going to shut it down. Guys, thanks for showing up. Thursday, we'll do another short webinar, show you guys how to do all that stuff on the inside. And hopefully this week, a good portion of us are ready to go and start warming these autoresponders up, and we get moving. So I'll see you guys Thursday. Yeah, it's going to be recorded. Should get an email with the link. If not, just message me, and I can send you the replay link.